To trust you, you have to give them something to trust. That means keeping your word and not blowing it off repeatedly as if it's not a big thing. No, it is absolutely a big thing. Every time that you don't keep your word to somebody who is being abused, you are showing that you don't care how much abuse they take. You don't care about them as a human being. When you are constantly interrupting the victim to tell them how to think and how to feel, to tell them that the route that the lawyers told them to take won't work, and then they make every excuse not to come forward, not to speak up, not to help you to turn it in. They know that you're disabled and you can't do it yourself. They just don't care because they blew you off like you're a retard and let people do whatever the fuck they wanted to you. That's the experience of many of us. Our own friends and family talk over us every fucking time. No matter what, they make us suicidal by letting us know that we are not important. The only thing that is important is what they want. And if we don't do what they want, they will hurt us. If we don't do what they want, when they want us to, they will let anyone hurt us. Anyone at all. Anybody who wants to. And that is universal. The thing is, getting a friend to listen, to understand the safety of the issue that I'm in, the safety issues inherent in the situation that I'm in. But none of them ever have time for that. If they do make time, it's time for them to talk. It's time for them to tell me how to think and tell me how to feel. It's time for them to tell me all of their roadblocks, but not ever time to listen. People don't know how to shut up. When you claim that you care about the victim and you will help the victim put a stop to it, then you need to shut the fuck up, listen, and actually help. Not blow smoke up their ass for years. When an at-risk adult is being fucking abused and they come to you for help turning in the abuse, listen to them and then help them to turn it in. Do it with them for their safety. With all these people who didn't want to try the legal route, they just wanted to talk about killing people all the fucking time. Well, people have been fucking threatening to kill me for over a year before Natalie was killed. People had been assaulting me for over a year before Natalie was killed. It didn't fucking matter though, because not one of my friends or family cared. They didn't care to listen to what was going on. They just wanted their pretty words to fix it, and then I'm supposed to smile and make fucking happy, or they'll fucking punish me again! When I was pressured by Natalie Bollinger into going to Virginia, I didn't want to go. It's too scary to drive that long by myself. Especially with all this shit loaded on my shoulders. Even if I go see you in person, you're not going to look. Take a look at the situation with Shannon Alvarado. Literally anything except look at evidence. Getting drunk and screaming at people all night is her idea of fun. And then she wants to try to pretend once in a while, oh, Sean, I have a stressful life. I should be allowed to drink a little once in a while. Jesus fucking Christ, that's the largest bottle of wine I've ever seen. And you go through one of those a night, like clockwork. You don't even need the whole thing. The problem is I'm repeatedly stuck in subservient environments because I can't take care of myself and I have no one to help. No one will even stop and try to understand that I can't do what you're asking me. I'm not capable. And you claim to understand that, but yet you go out of your way to be as hurtful and harmful as possible. When you talk over the victim, you are eating up precious time. If you don't have much time, then you need to listen to the victim. That means shut up. It means shut up. You can always make the time when somebody is being abused. You can always make the time. When you make the time to treat them like shit for coming to you for help. You're going out of your way to push them to end their own lives. You are going out of your way to let them know that they don't matter at all. What they're going through doesn't matter at all. They're not a person to you. I'm tired of being victimized. This is not okay. The way that my friends treated me when I went to them for help. Joanna Taylor Smith just wanting to make Maddie Boa and Natalie Bollinger's life a living hell if I killed myself. No. And then there's her boyfriend, Derek Parrish. Didn't get what he fucking wanted. So he fucking treated me like shit for 3 fucking days and then assaulted me. Wouldn't fucking let it go. Well, you guys want to tell me to let it go, let it go. You guys don't fucking let it go, do you? You don't stop to try to understand for one fucking moment what I'm going through. Because if you did, you would fucking help me to turn it immediately. Not talk to me like I'm a fucking retard. Not talk over me to tell me how to think and how to feel. Somebody posts your shit up on the internet, you're gonna get fucking pissed. While you fucking pretend like I can just blow it off. You get to go home to your warm bed every night. You get to see your loved ones. You get to have conversations. I have to beg people to fucking care. Please, fucking pretend I'm a person. The thing about the guy in Louisiana is that he says that he will help me. And he says that his wife will help me with the paperwork. If I can get there. If I can get there. That's always how it is, isn't it? If I can get there. And I lose everything in the attempt. And then once I get there, it's usually somebody who's strung out on alcohol or drugs. They scream at each other over stupid shit. In this case, I'm hoping it'll be different, but I don't even know how I'm going to get there. Now then there's the amount of money that I spent. People said that they didn't have time, they needed to earn money. See, that was Dallas Richmond for 7 months while I'm fucking giving him money and offering him a job, helping me to fucking look at evidence and turn it in. But all he can do is get fucking drunk and watch Game of Thrones, or get drunk and play first-person shooter games, or get drunk and fucking scream at Harley. Of course, she always started the screaming at him first. And I'm not supposed to be afraid in that environment. I'm not allowed to be afraid because I have a penis. The safety issues that I am facing, all right, if I get everything fucking took because nobody wants to understand how important the fucking evidence is, or how I can't recollect all of this stuff. Now, that guy in Florida has a good idea with the housing down there, but he's also not understanding that with the cost of the places that he's sending to me, I'm not going to be able to afford a place there. He says that there are resources there, and hopefully he's right. He says that the housing thing there was Section 8. He says you can get Section 8, yeah, with your help. We have to get on it. I have to have a place to stay once I get there. Even if that's in somebody's backyard in a tent. I have to be able to have an address when I get there. So that I can send and receive mail. The abuses that I have endured at the hands of police have destroyed my finances, and nobody will listen to that. They have this idea in their head that I have unlimited funding. They got it in their head that I have a safe place to sit all the fucking time, that I am fine where I'm at. I am not. I was victimized until I was here. The worst part is people like Michelle Stewart. Even after sending her the stuff that is important for her to learn and trying my best to explain it while she interrupts me, the fact is that she doesn't know shit about what's going on because she couldn't stop interrupting me. And the things that she said, although well-intentioned and very close to what I needed her to say, I needed her to understand it, which would only have required her to fucking shut up and listen. There's the help that I needed, and then there's the help that she wanted to provide. She wouldn't fucking shut up to find out what help I fucking needed. And even when I did tell her what help I needed, she didn't fucking hear a goddamn word I said. She went right about her own thing. And in a very fucked up fashion. And you know what? At that point, she's already disrespected me to the point that she has already let me know that literally nothing I say matters. Only what she says matters. And everyone does that. They don't stop to listen. None of them. I need you to listen to understand. Understand why I have the roadblocks in place that I have. I've heard you 300 fucking times tell me about your fucking roadblocks. You should never have reached out to me and pretended to give a shit. Now, there are people that I knew in real life who claimed to love me and claimed to care about me. When I reached out to them before Natalie was killed, they were fucking horrible to me. But they swore up and down, if I do what they want, they'll help me. I did the best that I could, and it cost me everything. It cost me all of my money before Natalie was fucking killed, was getting spent going to one fucking therapy appointment after another, after another, after another. Because this is where I'm told if I go there for help, when people are fucking abusing me, I go to these people for help, and they help me to turn it in, not without a friend or a family member. And you get to hear how all these friends and family members, they can't shut the fuck up. They can't stop talking about themselves. They can't stop making it about them. How is that supposed to make me feel? When they expect me to understand, but they make zero effort, literally zero effort to understand. If my words are spoken directly to you and you still reinterpret it into some fucking la la land bullshit, Michelle's playground and all that. No, that doesn't help the victim. There's that list, suicide versus suicidal. You get to see the left-hand side of the list is after somebody's committed suicide. And the right-hand side of the list is how people treat someone who is suicidal. There's a third one that shows the behaviors that push a person to commit suicide. Turns out it's how their friends and family treat them when they go to them for help. If you treat them how my friends and family treated me, that's why people commit suicide. You push them to it. And you don't want to take any responsible for how shitty you make them feel every time that you talk over them when they have just been abused and there's a very limited amount of time to turn it in. And all you want to do is argue and talk about yourself. Or you can't be bothered because it interrupts your goddamn party. Except you party every day. Or you want to say you can't because you have to work too hard. Well, then you need to fucking speak up about that. Don't reach out to a victim who needs help, an at-risk adult who needs help turning it in, and fucking bullshit them for years. Do not fucking do that. What the fuck is wrong with you? You have allowed all of their predators to get away. Well, you want to talk about what a good person you are. No matter what, any excuse not to help them turn in their perpetrators. And then you want to pretend they're a bad person because you threw a fucking sandwich at them. They didn't come to you for a fucking sandwich, asshole. I went to Shannon Alvarado's for the help that she promised me. And when I got there, she did not keep her promises. And all these people who treat me completely like fucking shit for being in a scary goddamn environment. You know, before I went to the fucking internet about Shannon Alvarado, I tried discussing it with her like a fucking adult. She's a goddamn alcoholic and a fucking abusive piece of shit at that. That's the fucking problem with you assholes. You don't care what the situation really is. You just want someone to fucking hurt. You don't like it when I do it back? You shouldn't have fucking done it to me to begin with. You shouldn't have pretended to care. You shouldn't have made it about you. You shouldn't have gone to an extreme negative frame of mind and fucking thrown that at the victim. Oh, it'll never work. And then you want to fucking treat me like shit for being fucking negative. I'm fucking trying, unlike every single one of you pieces of shit. You don't care unless it's happening to you. And even then, you're only going to focus on you, which is why you deserve it. You come on here for fucking entertainment or for validation. Well, you know what? You don't get validation. You and I are in very different worlds. You're a fucking selfish piece of shit who's too cowardly to speak up. You won't even speak up about your own experiences. The one person that does is Girl Interrupted. But she doesn't lift up anyone else. Typing pretty words at them is not lifting them up. You know, after a couple of weeks of that, it gets fucking old. Every person that you go to when you're fucking assaulted, they don't even find out that you've been assaulted because they're busy fucking talking over you. And then when you blurt out that you were fucking assaulted, what do they do then? Dude, you're not fucking listening to me. Holy shit. I've been trying to get you to listen for fucking 6 goddamn years. And all these people, they want to tell me about all their personal shit over and over and over again. And then they expect me to remember all of their personal shit. Do you not understand how fucking overwhelmed I am before you drop all of your fucking shit on me? Or how difficult it is for me to fucking speak when you interrupt me every other fucking sentence to tell me how much time we got left? Or to tell me how to think and how to feel? When you want to interrupt me literally every sentence to fucking say you're sorry that happened. You're sorry that fucking happened. Shut up! You don't have to say you're sorry that happened every fucking sentence. I'm not telling you for I'm sorries. These are important details, and I'm trying to explain to you why they're important. But you just can't stop talking over the fucking victim, can you? Then you pretend that the victim is a bad person for speaking up. For telling people how you treated them. How you pretended to care but did not. How you pretended to listen. But your actions show you didn't hear a word I fucking said. And then you pretend like I'm a bad person because you can't fucking listen. Because you can't listen. All these people wanting me to feel sorry for them because they gotta work extra jobs. They want to tell me it's not my fault, it's not my fault, it's not my fault with so much shit. Well, guess what? It's not my fault. It's not my fault that you have to work that many jobs. I speak out about how wrong that is that you should have to do that. Unlike you, I speak out. When you tell me how horrible those experiences are, I speak out. I speak up immediately. The safety issues that I have to deal with here. When I first showed up here, I didn't have all of those safety issues. This was a new place. Sure, I didn't know anybody, but it was a new place. And hopefully one of these fake friends would actually be a real friend. But no, they don't do jack shit until it's become a completely goddamn fucked situation here. And then they pretend like they fucking care. I let Michelle Dolphin Ellard, a.k.a. Michelle Stewart, know to go away. At the same time, I told Danny Francis to go away. And Caitlin Tatum to go away. And you get to see with all three of them how it's not a matter of right and wrong, When that situation happened, it's a matter of what? Rejection, that's what it is. They don't want to be fucking thrown away, so they'll pretend to give a shit for a little bit. No, I'm not going to fucking accept that. There's repeated assaults here. The assault at the hospital, what was it, 4 days ago? Something like that? 3 or 4 days? I don't fucking know. One day is as fucking scary as the goddamn next. Just fucking waiting for the next time somebody decides they're gonna fucking hurt me. Waiting on the next time that somebody is fucking offended that I'm parked in the goddamn parking lot because I have nowhere to go. I don't have the money to keep jumping through these hoops. There are things that people could do to help if they fucking gave a shit. Like some of the back money that I'm supposed to get from COVID from the IRS. All of that shit was Scott DaCosta making sure that I was fucking locked up so I couldn't turn him in. And you fucking helped him to do it. And then you want me to, what, sing your goddamn praises? But all you did is talk over me and make me feel like fucking nothing. When the only help that you would give is based on talking over me, making shitty fucking assumptions and treating me like hell. When I tell you to go away, that means go away. It means don't victimize me anymore. You are not fucking welcome here. With my Aunt Mary and my Aunt Diane, especially as antagonistic as my Aunt Diane was right after Natalie disappeared. You know, for years and years, I did what I was supposed to, go to friends and family. I went to them. I went to my Uncle Scott. I went to my Aunt Mary. I went to my Aunt Diane. The problem is, when you're an at-risk adult and none of your friends or family will listen, none of your friends or family care, none of them bothered to learn a goddamn thing about you, unless it's something they could use to exploit you, it's so completely fucked. I know that you do not respect me because you talk over me. I know that you do not respect me because you try to finish my sentences. I know you do not respect me because rather than listen to the victim, listen to them tell you what they want to tell you, you want to interrupt and make it about you. I heard you the first 30 times, but you didn't hear me. You shouldn't have said it 30 times. I heard the first one. I'm already familiar with that. Now you need to get familiar with the fact that I am telling you these things for a reason and you need to let me fucking finish. When I tell you that I am assaulted by somebody, it's not because I need a fucking shoulder to cry on. It's because I need help turning it in, so it doesn't happen again. When I am abused, I am supposed to go to a trusted friend or family member. I don't trust anyone because not one friend or family member has ever helped to turn it in. By it, I mean 6 years of having to move from place to place to place to place, being victimized everywhere I go repeatedly, begging for someone to care. People know that they can abuse me because my friends and family showed outright that they didn't care who hurt me, who harmed me. They weren't going to try to find out why we were cut off from communication. They don't try to find out why it is that I have a new number. When I try to tell them about the assaults, they just won't shut the fuck up. How is your friend supposed to want to survive when no matter what, you're just going to help people to hurt them? When I went to my friends and family for help with abuse, they helped me by abusing me, by neglecting me, by assaulting me, by blaming me. Now I do some of those things back. You want to blame me and say that it's my fault that people hurt me because I told the truth. Then you want to, of course, you wanted to tell me about your predators. This is your idea of helping me, is to talk about you, right? So what do? Right after you victim blame and shame me, I do the goddamn same to you, and I do it loud and proud on the fucking internet. You will know how it feels. Hate me as much as you want. You say, I shouldn't care what other people think. Look how quickly that turns to bullshit when the tables are turned. You pretend like I'm a bad person. Then you throw a fucking tantrum like a goddamn 5-year-old because you were busted fucking lying to me. You were busted bullshitting me. You were busted treating me like I'm a fucking retard. You were busted going out of your way to be as emotionally fucking abusive as possible. And then what do? You play retarded. Oh, I didn't know that's hurtful. Really? Really? Many of you complained about being treated that way yourselves. How your friends won't listen to you and your family won't listen to you. They just talk over you and tell you how to think and feel. You want to tell me how wrong it is? Why don't you tell the public how wrong it is? Why don't you tell the public how wrong it is to do to you? And while you're at it, instead of just being a self-serving goddamn prick, speak for others. Tell their stories to the best of your goddamn ability. If you get something wrong and they let you know that you got something wrong, don't treat them like shit because you got something wrong. You're not perfect, neither am I. And just because you made a mistake doesn't make you a piece of shit. It's when you try to hide it at the expense of another human being that you fucked up the worst. I'm not sure if any of y'all noticed, but I've been chastising the shit out of my family, my relatives, I should say, the last few days. I feel bad for people like Michelle Dolphin Ellard or Michelle Stewart, whatever she wants to go by. I do. But I also have to remind myself that she's the one that chose to be who she is. She's the one who chose to not respect my boundaries. She's the one that chose not to listen to understand. She's the one that chose to repeatedly interrupt me. I was trying to explain to her that there were GoFundMes that were made. I didn't make them. And one of the things that is used as an excuse by these predators to repeatedly harm me is the thousands of dollars I supposedly got. Now, Candace Bondurant made one of them, and Carl Rogers made the other. And when the Candace Bondurant did fucked up shit, she's the worst friend I ever had. When people did fucked up shit to her, she abused me for it. That's the problem. These people wanted to be abusive to me over and over and over again for trying to get help stopping abuse. What the fuck is that about? It's about selfishness. Nothing but. There's a lot of selfish people who will pretend like they care about you, but they show through their actions. Will they listen? Listening is an action. Natalie Bollinger and her friends made my life a living hell. I tried to get help and tried to get help and tried to get help and tried to get help, and people just wouldn't shut up. Finally, I started screaming for help. I started cursing loudly. Over and over and over again, I tried to get at least one of my friends to stop and listen, to find out what was going on, to stop talking about themselves. And they just wouldn't. They just wouldn't listen. They wouldn't stop talking, wouldn't stop talking. When I speak out about Michelle Dolphin Ellard, a.k.a. Michelle Stewart, and just like with Caitlin Tatum and Danny Francis, I told her to leave. The things that I needed help with, she wasn't going to help with them. She was just going to make excuses. All these people who wanted to offer to help, oh, they just wanted to help by being an emotional support, by telling me what to do, what to think, and what to feel. Oh, that's what it is. You're not actually going to help me do any of these things, are you? You're not going to find out how important it is to speak up about this safety issue now. Not making the victim fucking argue with you for fucking 6 years. With Michelle, I get that it wasn't 6 years. But also, she doesn't stop to understand how many people were involved in this. That it wasn't just her. And that listening to her fucking assumptions that I've heard out of hundreds of other people before who also didn't find out what was going on. You just want to tell somebody how to think and how to feel. As soon as you find a retard. Well, I'm not a retard. I'm a person. You're allowed to get angry, but I'm not. You're allowed to be overwhelmed, but I'm not. You're allowed to lie to me and play victim because you got busted lying. For me to get to Louisiana, there's the roadblocks that are in place that need to be addressed. Now, if a friend, you come to them about an issue like this and they actually care about you, they're not going to blow you off. They're going to find the time to listen and actually listen. I needed help stopping repeated harm against myself. repeated threats against my loved ones before Natalie was killed. These people kept on making fake accounts to harass me and threaten my family. They kept on using my friends' names to make accounts. I even reached out to my friends when that happened. I went to Riley Johnson when they were making fake Riley Johnson accounts to harass me on. I said, hey man, what gives? He said, it wasn't me. Then after Natalie's death, do you think he'd ever come forward with that? No, he didn't give a fuck. He's too busy getting drunk. Oh yeah, and expecting me to feel sorry for him because he's always fucking drunk. You guys expect me to understand, but you don't try to understand. How can you help the victim when you won't stop talking about yourself? How do you find out things like, oh yeah, with my dad, how does he find out that his son was assaulted and drugged in Hood River? He doesn't. He doesn't take the time to listen. He's too busy trying to type at me to fucking try to bribe me into taking down evidence. Nobody fucking cares, Brian Schwartz. Not even you. You showed all you care about is yourself over and over again. So, with every day that passes, I lose more resources. I have nobody to help me to make sure that I get the resources I'm supposed to be getting. Meanwhile, I'm spending resources that I don't have to try to get to places where I'm going to lose everything in order to go there, and I'm going to have to do it all on a leap of faith. Well, every time I've had faith in someone, they've shown me not to. This is a scary enough situation as it is without me having to try to magic up all this funding to go traveling again. Meanwhile, if I get pulled over in the wrong place or my vehicle blows up on the drive there or I can't get it sold, God, it fucking sucks. But that's the problem with people not finding out what the roadblocks are or why that they're there. With the housing thing in Chapel, Nebraska, I had housing before Natalie was killed, but I had to pay rent in two different places, in Chapel and at Ken and Leah's. At Ken and Leah's, I was told if the cops came over there or come to talk to them for any reason that I was gone. Meanwhile, I wasn't at the place in Chapel because I had to be up next to the Front Range to try to get services. When you're fucking abused, you gotta fucking go to all these different services that don't do a goddamn thing. Jeff Ritter and Kara Heller were supposed to be the ones to help me. No fucking help. We were jumping through all the hoops, all right? Or rather, I was. Even with Ken and Leah stealing my money and taking advantage of me. That's the thing, is you take advantage of an at-risk adult, you're committing a crime. But people didn't fucking care. They wanted to tell me it was my fault that I was getting taken advantage of. That I should have stayed in low income in Chapel. When I was low income in Chapel, everybody wanted to push me to go to the Front Range. Colorado. So then I'm spending money to go back and forth between Chapel, Nebraska and Englewood, Colorado, back and forth and back and forth so I can go to my fucking therapy meeting with Nicole Peralta. I could only afford to do it once a month. Back and forth and back and forth. Because I got to maintain my place in Chapel so I can try to improve my credit, everyone tells me. Well, then Brandon Ratner went up there with me, and he was going to help me to do that. We were in a big fucking hurry. I should have written a letter or something and let him know, but I didn't. It's because I was having a fucking severe panic attack. Like, Jesus, fuck, dude, fucking, come on, please stop fucking pressuring me. If 5 minutes to fucking write a letter isn't too much. 5 minutes to do this isn't too much. Can we please? And Brenda Dickinson and Ryan Daly, they were going to clean the apartment for me because I had to leave there in such a hurry. I had to leave while I had a ride. That was Brandon Ratner. But Brandon Ratner never came forward about any of this shit. Brenda Dickinson never came forward about any of this shit. See, the help that people provided, I admitted they provided that help. But I also told you that that help came at a price. I had to take a lot of abuse to try to find someone to help me. I had to take a lot of assaults to try to find someone to help me. I had to listen to everybody telling me about themselves over and over again and their relationships with their girlfriends or their boyfriends or their moms or their dads. A lot of them I made deals with. I'll help you if you help me. That's because I'm always giving up my resources because people promise me if I give up those resources, they'll help. I'm told, hey, Sean, you need to get them to help first before you pay them. I know, but if you're not involved, they're going to have plenty of incentive to take advantage of me and no incentive to actually help. They can just call me mentally ill, take my money, and say whatever the fuck they want, and I can't do anything about it. The whole reason that I jumped through all of these expensive goddamn hoops for these therapists is because this is what I was told I needed to do to get help. I needed to go to the Front Range. And you get to hear Tara Smith, the DHS lady, telling me to go to the Front Range. I tried showing her evidence in person because it's the only way I was able to do it. It fucking takes too long to do it any other way. And I have to fucking travel around and try to find a safe fucking place where it's fucking quiet, where I can get some goddamn peace and quiet without people victimizing each other nonstop in that fucking environment or watching shows about fucking killing and murder non-fucking stop. Jesus Christ. So tomorrow I'm gonna probably have to literally spend all day tomorrow trying to download that first conversation with Michelle to make sure that it's posted up. To show you how many times she wanted to talk over me and give me suggestions. You have any idea how many hundreds of people wanted to tell me to call a crisis line? Jesus fucking Christ. A crisis line is not going to act as a friend or family member. When you're being abused by police, they are not going to understand. They give you a maximum time limit, and then they cut you off because you don't fucking matter to them. The situation I'm in now, I really need that guy from Louisiana to call and listen to understand the gravity of the situation that I'm in here in Tillamook. He says that there's resources there, but it's a matter of getting there. And it's a matter of knowing that those resources are already there when I get there so that I'm not twiddling my thumbs going, Jesus Christ, dude, I'm here with all of my stuff. I'm fucking homeless in fucking Louisiana. I fucking. And the reason I have that fear is because it has happened so many times. When I get just enough resources to guarantee that I'm stuck where I'm at, and I'm being abused where I'm at, I need someone to understand that and try to take steps to do something about it beyond just shoving me into housing. Now, that guy from Louisiana, he's not trying to just stuff me into housing. He's trying to work with me and my abilities to some degree. But the thing is, his suggestion is for me to go there. And we know that that's always a shitty suggestion. But I got to try to trust someone. It eats up all of my resources every time I have to move. And when I get there, people don't understand how disabled I really am because they never took the time to listen to understand. When I tell them about the assaults by Waylon Lolatai and in the Boulder County Jail, I'm not telling them just to tell them. I'm not telling them to get sympathy. I'm telling them because I have permanent damage to my body because of it. People who have been on the streets and been injured and had to go to the hospital, or have been sick and had to go to the hospital or the clinic. They know how we're treated in most places. The thing is, you don't stop to understand how you forced me into a panic attack. How you force it by antagonizing the situation. Every time you talk over me, every time you interrupt, every time you make a suggestion instead of listening. I've heard some of your suggestions literally over 1,000 times. That doesn't give me the ability to do it, no matter how much you want to be an asshole about it. I need you to do it with me. Don't make suggestions. Listen to the victim. There will be a time and a place for you to have your say. But when it comes to helping the victim, the first thing you need to do is to listen. Make the time to listen. If you don't make the time for them, you are showing loud and clear that you don't care who hurts them. You don't care if it happens again. Ariana was going to listen to me and try to help how I needed, but I didn't get to explain what I needed because Ariana's wife wanted to domineer the whole thing. And Ariana hasn't looked at a message that I've sent her in days. So I don't go bombarding her with those. Ariana could help. Ariana could try to call up and people don't admit when they screw up. They want to hide it. They want to treat the victim like the victim deserves it. That is gaslighting. People don't like it when I do that back. Michelle Stewart doesn't like it. James did not like it. Do not chastise me. Don't do it. You find out what's going on before you pass judgment, asshole. I'll give you equality to some degree. You guys are capable of a lot more evil shit than I am. Because unlike me, you have no conscience. You're entertained by murder and death and harm against others. And every show is about fucking revenge or getting laid, isn't it? Then there's that show, Two Broke Girls. That's about the most disgusting thing ever. It's all sexism. She even makes rape jokes. How fucked up is that? It's disgusting. You want to treat men like shit when they're abused. You don't want the repercussions, though. You don't think that a man should be allowed to defend himself. A man should just have to take it because that's what men do. Men are supposed to take abuse for women. Men are supposed to take abuse for children. That's why we exist. We're not allowed to have a life of our own beyond your expectations societally. My disabilities magically don't exist when you can use my intelligence to pretend that I'm not trying. But then you call me disabled, pretend that I'm schizophrenic, so that I'm not allowed to show proof that you fucking lied about it. You deny me the right to do it by pretending that I'm schizophrenic and victimizing the shit out of me. And then you call me lazy and pretend that I never tried and that because of my intelligence and because I have a penis, I should have magically been able to what? See, that's pretty universal among all these victims. They're trying to figure out what the fuck is going through your head. How the hell can you shove this ignorance on us? This ignorance that gets us killed and pretend like it's okay? The safety issues that I'm enduring and have to endure every single day, they will continue until someone takes an active role in putting a stop to it. You all know what taking an active role to put a stop to it is. You help the fucking victim collect the goddamn evidence and get it to where it needs to go. If they've done all of the fucking heavy work by collecting all the goddamn evidence, all they need your fucking help for is looking at it and fucking verifying it exists. When someone's called mentally ill, yes, you have to do that for them. That is what you have to do for them if you want to help them. You have to look at evidence and you have to help them turn it in. Look at evidence, help to turn it in. Look at evidence, help to turn it in. Not that it matters. Every night I have to be afraid that the police are going to take everything from me again. You took my life away. You took my life away from me. I was guilty until proven innocent and never allowed to prove my innocence. repeatedly denied the right to even go to court, denied the right to show evidence, denied the right to face my accusers, denied the right of habeas corpus, denied the right to trial by jury, denied every single one of my rights, and repeatedly tortured throughout the entire process, because not a goddamn one of you is anything more than just words. Oh, you're sorry, you're sorry, you're sorry. Prove it. Change your fucking behaviors. Listen to the fucking victim, instead of trying to push them to suicide. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind.